He said, "I'm the maintenance guy. I heard you're looking for me."
Gloves and what else? A the blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
Miya Marcano was a 19-year-old girl from Florida who was killed by Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker from the apartment complex where she lived and worked.
She exceeded my expectations because, you know, she's just a beautiful girl. She's very smart, knew what she wanted, was not easily influenced. What Miya wants, Miya's gonna get.
Let me recount what happened in this tragic case. Miya was born in 2002 to her mother Emma's Gabrielle and father Marlon Marcano, who was a famous DJ in Florida known as DJ Eternal Vibes. She had an older brother named Marlon Jr. and they grew up in Pembroke Pines, Florida. When her parents divorced, her mom moved to the Virgin Islands while her dad remarried a woman named Giselle Blanche. Miya was described as a smart, confident and ambitious young woman who loved her family deeply. She was beautiful and knew what she wanted out of life. Her family affectionately called her Mimi and supported her fully in everything she did, referring to her as the family's princess. Miya attended Charles W. Flanagan High School where she was a bright student who was always there to help others. She graduated in May 2020 and instead of taking a gap year, enrolled at Valencia College in Orlando that same year to pursue an art degree. She also intended to later take courses in sports medicine or physiotherapy. While still in college, Miya got a part-time job at the leasing office of Arden Villas, a student housing complex located near the University of Central Florida. To make things more convenient, she also got an apartment there. For a while, things seemed to be going well as Miya juggled her classes and work. However, she started having some awkward encounters with Armando Caballero, a maintenance worker at the complex who kept trying to hit on her. Miya turned him down several times, but Armando just kept insisting, to the point that Miya had to tell her family about it. On Friday, September 24, 2021, Miya left work at around 5 p.m. hoping to catch a flight to Fort Lauderdale to visit her family. She went over to her apartment and grabbed her suitcase, but never came out. Miya's family started to get worried when she stopped responding to their texts and phone calls, which was very unlike her. When her flight landed with no sign of Miya, and her phone went straight to voicemail, her family knew something was definitely wrong. At around 9:30 p.m., Miya's mom called the Orange County Sheriff's Office and requested a wellness check. A deputy was dispatched and went to Miya's apartment to check on her. When he arrived, he knocked repeatedly but no one answered. Eventually, one of Miya's roommates arrived and let the officer inside. What they found inside was enough to convince them that something bad had happened to Miya. When the officer tried to enter Miya's room, he noticed the door was unlocked, but something was blocking it from inside. He peered through the back window and saw a mini dresser placed right in front of the door, as if Miya had been trying to prevent someone from getting in. The officer also noted the window had been tampered with, and there was jewelry scattered on the floor and some red stains on her pillow. The deputy spoke to Miya's roommate, who said Miya had texted her at 5 p.m. saying she was heading to the airport. When asked if there was someone in Miya's life who would want to harm her, she mentioned Armando Caballero. She said Armando had been harassing Miya, constantly asking her out on dates, and that Miya had always rejected him. According to Miya's family, the deputy then left the scene without providing any more information about what was being done. Arden Villas also did not respond to the family's calls, so they decided to go to Orlando to check what was happening. When they arrived at around 3 a.m., they had to call the sheriff's office themselves to get access to Miya's room. Even after all the signs of struggle, the place had not been declared a crime scene. Miya's family felt they had to investigate on their own. Upon entering, they found a yellow box cutter that did not belong to Miya under a rug. Then, Armando Caballero suddenly showed up in front of Miya's apartment, saying, "I'm the maintenance guy." Miya's aunt found this very suspicious since they had not yet announced that Miya was missing.
Me and Tati were conversating about it, so it came up.
But
Should I go and see if I see anything?
No one knows Tati. That's my whole thing. Not even the roommate knows Tati. She's an employee, but you keep saying Tati is a friend and that you've all hung out together. No one here knows Tati. All her other friends showed up. Her closest friends that live in the complex were all here with us early on. No one knows Tati. Only you.
It was also odd that Armando would show up at 4 a.m. while off work with no reason to be there.
As of right now, you have sent obsessive texts to Miya. We have all seen the text. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her gave
It's
her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As
said
a matter
that.
of fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case.
Armando told the officer he last saw Miya at 3 p.m. and that a mutual friend called Tati informed him she was missing. However, Mia's family did not believe Armando's story since no one knew this Tati person. Mia's family already knew about Armando's obsession with Miya, and that he would send her crazy texts promising his life savings if she went out with him. With Armando's suspicious behavior and all the evidence against him, this should have been enough for police to detain and question him. But shockingly, the deputy just let Armando go without any evidence to suspect him. Mia's family was understandably outraged by this failure to properly investigate. Since police weren't taking action, the family decided to take matters into their own hands to try and find Miya. They secretly followed Armando to his apartment.
He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in his
gloves.
hands.
He has gloves.
The
Oh
blanket.
my God, that is my blanket.
And saw him taking things from his car, a pink blanket, gloves, and a black backpack, which they recognized as belonging to Miya. This meant Armando was likely behind her disappearance. They quickly called 911 and when police arrived, confronted Armando. However, without a search warrant, police couldn't legally enter Armando's apartment. He did let the family inside, but they found nothing significant. Armando was once again free to go, further frustrating Mia's family who believed he would finally reveal where he was hiding her. To make matters worse, Armando also vanished later that day. By now, Miya had been reported missing to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. With Armando as the only suspect, a warrant was issued for his arrest on September 25th. A few hours later, detectives raided his empty apartment, but it was too late. Armando was long gone. Investigators learned someone had opened Mia's apartment using a maintenance key fob in Armando's possession at around 2 p.m. on the day she disappeared. The same key was used again at 4:30 p.m. before Mia's shift ended. At 5:06 p.m., Miya used her own key to enter. Almost an hour later, Armando's car left the complex. He placed a fake maintenance call, then asked to be let through the gate, likely trying to establish an alibi. Police believed Armando was waiting for Miya in her apartment to kidnap her. They started digging into his profile to track him down. Meanwhile, Mia's devastated family members were spreading her photos everywhere, begging anyone with information to come forward.
Bring her home safe. Just drop her off and let us know where she is. We'll pick her up. Just bring her home.
You know our family is strong. You know our family is big. You know we will never sleep one night until we get you home. We miss you. We know that you're strong.
No bit of information is too small or too insignificant. If someone, knows of something, saw something, recognizes her face, we will take that information, and you can remain anonymous too. We just want the information to try and find Miya.
On September 27th, police received a call reporting that a man had been found hanging in the garage of another apartment complex. It turned out to be Armando Caballero, who had been dead for some time. This was devastating to the investigation, as Armando was the only one who knew where Miya was and if she was still alive. Mia's family was furious that Armando took the cowardly way out instead of revealing what he did. Still, they held on to hope that Miya might still be found alive, believing Armando had kidnapped her and she remained nearby. The search for Miya quickly intensified with dozens of volunteers, law enforcement officers, helicopters, canine units, and dive teams scouring the entire town, rivers, lakes, bushes, for any sign of her. By September 30th, over 30 searches had been conducted spanning 3 counties. A central operations center was established to process tips and leads. Investigators tried retracing Armando's footsteps and found he visited an area called Timber Scone, a rough Orlando neighborhood known for violence, murders, and narcotics. Many had fled due to insecurity, leaving abandoned buildings near collapse. Cell records showed Armando was in the area the evening Miya was reported missing. A search team was sent there, and on October 2nd, they made the devastating discovery of Miya's body hidden in a wooded area near Timber Scone.
They discovered a body we believe to be that of Miya Marcano. About an hour ago, detectives notified Miya's parents of our tragic news. Our hearts are broken.
Her hands and feet were bound with duct tape. Duct tape covered her mouth, and her purse was found nearby containing the shirt she was last seen wearing. She was partially dressed in just jeans, bra, and robe. Due to decomposition, the medical examiner could not determine her actual cause of death. Miya's family was crushed by the news, with hundreds gathering for an emotional vigil in her honor.
I feel defeated. I feel like I failed my cousin, and I don't know how we're gonna get through this. I miss my baby, and I wish she had come home today.
It was later revealed that in March 2021, while working at a different apartment complex, Armando wrote a note to another woman asking her out. When she agreed to a date but then canceled, a black dumbbell was thrown through her window that night. Armando was also previously arrested in 2013 for charges including detaining a homemade explosive at school. Miya's family believes Ardent Villas, which claimed to do a background check on Armando, should be held responsible for her death by allowing him unfettered access.
Just to have unfettered access to someone's apartment is irresponsible and is definitely not in the best interest of the tenants. Had he not had the access to Miya's apartment, that this could have been easily preventable.
They've since filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the complex, feeling they failed to protect Miya. This tragic case highlights the true cost of improper vetting and lack of security. It also shows how obsession and rejection can push someone to commit the unthinkable. Miya's loved ones will forever mourn the beautiful, ambitious young woman whose life was taken far too soon. Thank you for watching today's episode. Please subscribe.